Nobody knows precisely the name of the individual who invented the Renaissance tradition of the Carnivalesque. But Dr. Dimitri Bakhtin, descendant and admirer of Russian theorist Mikhail Bakhtin, tells us that the carnivals of the Renaissance emerged as a subversion to church hierarchy, a subversion, you might say, performed with attitude.
The commoners of Renaissance Europe, you see, were quite cunning. In the days leading up to Lent, these commoners paraded the local marketplace in a celebration of the grotesque.
Right.
Now, what do I mean by grotesque? The word is a little vague, isn't it?
No, not at all.
All right, then what does it mean?
It means events aren't quite sanitary.
During these Renaissance carnivals, there was the usual dancing and gambling and fornicating going on.
Really?
Yes, but let's not forget about the actors. The actors formed a mock clergy, and they traveled the marketplace on carts. These carts were loaded down with dung and fecal matter, understand?
Yes.
This gross substance was passed off as incense and sprinkled on the heads of the people around them.
The heads?
Yes. Now, by our standards, this is all very lowbrow and uncivilized, but by the standards of the Renaissance commoners, it was just simple role-playing, and it took a variety of forms.
When you say role-playing, you mean like peasants pretending to be lords, women pretending to be men,
Cats pretending to be dogs,
fools pretending to be dignitaries,
rats pretending to be cats.
rats pretending to be... My God.
These were simply reactions to repression and hierarchy, and against the monotonous role-playing that we all find ourselves in. But there's one principle that we must not forget.
What principle is this?
In the Carnivalesque, it's not that the actor plays a role. It's that the role plays the actor.
Huh.
Now say it.
Pardon me?
I want to hear you say it.
The role plays the actor?
That's right. And with everyone donning the mask of his or her choice, we all become liberated. Distinctions of caste and status simply cease to be. The long supplications of our youth reach their cosmic fulfillment in the entire space-time continuum. On all levels, atomic, subatomic, and into the realms of the lowliest, tiniest quarks. Now, who says there's no room on our map for utopia?
During the 16th century, literature became heavily seduced by the even heavier scatological methods of the Carnivalesque. And according to Dr. Bakhtin, the underrated French author Francois Rabelais is our first example of a homegrown, lowbrow, no-holds-barred mainstream storyteller.
Francois Rabelais is our first example of a homegrown, lowbrow,
So essentially, Rabelais is our first innovator of the style known as realism grotesque. Could you please expand on that?
Grotesque realism is a style that portrays all political conflict as having their roots in basic anatomical need.
Such as the needs of the stomach.
Precisely. We must understand that Rabelais is perhaps the most misunderstood author of all time. It's no accident that the name Rabelais is very similar to the word rebellious.
And how is Rabelais a misunderstood author?
Listen, just because a man writes about, in detail, the minute movements of the sphincter muscles of a woman giving birth, doesn't mean he has nothing to say.
And what is the social relevance of such a style?
Say, why don't you and I step outside for a moment? Look at all these stupid people. Peasants, all of them, only they don't know it yet. They only know the pathetic social roles assigned to them. All in the name of pseudo-societal harmony.
You want everything to be just one big carnival?
Yes!
Just like in the Renaissance.
Yes!
But sir, do you realize that out there in the street, there's guys a lot bigger and tougher than you are? Guys who might abuse such notions?
I don't care!
No?
No! I'll throw cow dung on anybody! Get me a cart, get me some cow dung, and I'll show you a Renaissance, all right.
Although such viewpoints may seem extreme to those of us of a more civilized bent, to families like the Bakhtins, it is not extreme in the least, but a highly normalized mode of living. In fact, the Bakhtins say that a society of carnivals will prevent any authoritative ideology from becoming the final word in morality, for there can never really be a final word in morality or anything else. There can only be the ever-changing nature of nature itself. To keep anything static and unfixed is to deny our birthright as participants in the never-ending renaissance of the human comedy.